Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about the haul that I got at Ollie's a couple of weeks ago. Now I did post a YouTube short where I showed off some of the things I was looking at while I was at Ollie's. I did not end up buying all of that stuff. For example, I didn't get any of the Ghostbusters stuff I was looking at, but it was all at really good prices. It was really tempting, but this is all the stuff that I did get. So I just kind of wanted to go over everything that I ended up buying, how much it was, and what the total was after tax, just to show you how great the prices were at Ollie's and some really good toys that you can find at a really good discount there. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first let's look at this figure, First Mate Jenny from Bucky O'Hare. Now the main reason I went to Ollie's is I did hear that some of the Bucky O'Hare figures were showing up at Ollie's and I was interested in picking them up. If you're not familiar, Bucky O'Hare was a comic book and a cartoon. I had a couple of video games too. There was an arcade game and an NES game that I know about. So Bucky O'Hare was an older cartoon comic, but the characters look really cool. So I picked this one up. This is the only Bucky O'Hare figure they had at my Ollie's. Now I do know people have been able to find some of the other figures at some of the other Ollie's. So if you look at the back of the package here, we can see a list of some of them, including, of course, Bucky O'Hare himself. But the only figure they had at my Ollie's was First Mate Jenny. So this is the figure we have. So we'll go ahead and open her up and take a look at her outside of the package. While I'm going into the package right now, I did want to say I really like how this is packed. It was really easy to slide the card off of the back of this. You could easily just replace it and replace everything here. And it really helps you keep this card in good condition so you're not tearing anything. And here we have Jenny in 3 different face plates for her, as well as these 2 hands here with an effect coming off of them. All right, behind the packaging here we had 2 other effect pieces. And she had 4 other hands. The figure herself, and I'm not going to go into a really in-depth look at all of the posability of these. She does look like she has plenty of joints, plenty of posability. Now I do want to look at how she stands though, because I can already tell this hairpiece is very heavy. However, the hairpiece itself also kind of acts here as a way to hold her up in place. So it looks like she can stand up because of it, not necessarily just because of her feet. I will say her joint here on her ankle is kind of tight, so I'm going to have to heat that up a little bit so I can kind of loosen that. But because of her hair, she will stand up. All right, I just changed out one of the face plates. It was easy to change. And I want to say again, this was packaged really well. The face plates themselves and everything else that was here on the blister, all of it is held in place by the plastic. And I really like that because it's really easy to pop them out. I don't have to cut any plastic cords loose that are holding her in place. It was really easy to just get everything out. And recently, every time I buy something from NECA, I wonder why they don't just do that with their figures, because I always have to cut so much stuff just to get all the pieces out. But there's Jenny, and we'll take a closer look at her. Oh, and before I move on, I want to say the price for this figure was just $5.99 at Ollie's. And it looks like the retail price that it lists here was originally $19.99. So you can really see here on their label how much you're saving when you purchase it there. All right, up next I picked up 2 Power Rangers figures. So I have some of the Zeo figures already. I have Zeo Gold and I have Zeo Pink. I don't have any of the others yet, but now I have Zeo Yellow, Tanya. So that was the first series she was in, and the price of the figure of Tanya was $7.99. Originally, these are, well, what's interesting is this is their price $12.99, but I know for a fact that on release these were $19.99, and in fact, any of the Power Ranger Lightning Collection figures now that you find in stores are going for like $24.99, I think, due to inflation and the price of materials. So I know that's gone up. And then we have the A Squad Pink Ranger from Power Rangers SPD. This was $9.99, and this does say their price $19.99. We got A Squad Pink, we got Zeo Yellow. Let's open those up and have a look. Alright, the packaging of these is really easy as well. They pretty much come out, they don't have anything holding them in place. Sometimes they do have weapons, like, or hands that have tape over them to keep them in place. Like there's a piece of tape here, but that's really easy to take care of. And I think there's a piece of tape over somewhere. Oh yes, there's tape here over these weapons here on Zeo Yellow. So let's go ahead and get these out. All right, and there we have them. They both come with multiple weapons. I'm sorry, Tanya comes with multiple weapons. A Squad Pink comes with one weapon, the gun. She does have 2 extra hands. Same with Tanya, she has 2 extra hands. They always just come with 1 pair of extra hands. She comes with her portrait, which looks really good. It's one of the better likenesses I've seen for one of the actors from Power Rangers. And her helmet, of course, it was on. She also does have an effect piece. All of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures always do come with at least one effect piece for their weapons. So there we have them, and we'll take a closer look at those figures. Right, and lastly, let's take a look at the Fortnite stuff I got. Now, sadly, I believe this is a dying line, if it's not already dead. There hasn't been any new announcements, I don't think, from Hasbro on the Fortnite front when it comes to the Victory Royale series. I really like these figures. These have really great posability. They look really good, and it's really a shame that they didn't sell as well as some of the other properties that Hasbro has, because honestly, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection seems to be going along really well, but they seem to have a lot of quality control problems with that line that really aren't present, as far as I'm aware, in the Fortnite line. The Fortnite stuff looks really good, and it's just, I think it's a really good line. There's a lot of figures they did not make in the Fortnite line that I think, if I was in charge, I would have made earlier. Some of my favorites have not been made, and I might do a whole other video on that where I talk about which figures I really would have liked to have seen in the Victory Royale series. But I'm really glad to have Metal Mouth now. He is one that I've been looking forward to getting, so we'll look at him. I bought this glider purely for the fact that I wanted to get this extra stand that it comes with. The stand, I don't remember if I reviewed Sky and Ollie, but they did not come with a stand for Ollie. But Ollie is made so that it can be used as a glider, so I wanted to have a stand for it. And then I bought this arcade, and it is a nice little arcade, but it comes with some weapons in it. And it also has a weapon rack on the back of the arcade you can use to display the Fortnite weapons, so that's pretty neat. So the arcade was $1.99, which was a steal. This was the only one they had, or I would have picked up more. Retail is $9.99 on this, on here. Again, I don't know if that's exactly retail, but that's how much they list as it was previously. Metal Mouth retail should have been $19.99 for him. This says $14.99, but the actual price I paid for him was $5.99. And then the glider was $3.99. That's how much I paid. It says their price is $10.99. I actually think it's more than that. You can still find this at Walmart, so I think it's a little bit more than that. But let's go ahead and open these up and get into these. All right, so here we have the glider, we have Metal Mouth, and we have the arcade. Metal Mouth does come with a pistol that's already on his side. You can take that out in addition to his sniper, and he does have his pickaxes here. And then here's the arcade. This is the first one of these arcades I've gotten. But let's go ahead and get the weapons out. So this was the back of the arcade. If you turn that around, you have the weapon rack. And there are the two weapons on there. It also came with this chug jug as well. And so there are the Fortnite ones, and we will take a closer look at those. All right, so I mentioned some of the prices when I was going over each of these just now. All in all, the total for these, according to my receipt, with tax, the total was $34.92 for all of this stuff. So if we looked at these prices as they originally would have been, and even going on the low end for the things like Power Rangers and Fortnite, which I know are around going for 25 now. If we did 20, 40, 60, this was probably a $20 figure too, 80, and then this was at least $10 on the low end. That's $90 of stuff, and I only spent 35 bucks. So it's a really good deal. I highly recommend you go out to your local Ollie's and check it out and see what you can find, because you might find some really good stuff. You might be able to find some more of the Bucky O'Hare stuff that I cannot find at my Ollie's. I did see somebody online selling a lot of the Storm Toe Trooper, and so I know other Bucky O'Hare figures are showing up at the Ollie's, so I'll probably go back and check mine and see if they get any more in. I am glad I at least found one of the figures because I wasn't expecting to necessarily find it at mine, because in the past when I've gone to my local Ollie's, which has taken over what used to be Toys R Us in town, but usually when I look in the toy aisle, they don't really have any of the good stuff that I see other people finding at their Ollie's. But for some reason, a couple weeks ago, they had a lot of stuff. They had some more Fortnite stuff that I was interested in, like Bush Ranger, so I might go back to pick that up, and some other things. But thank you so much for watching the video today and checking it out. Please give me a like or dislike, and subscribe.